So, hello Mr. Sriram, how are you doing?
Doing very well, doing more positive now. And,
Okay, excellent.
Yes, as we take our interaction forward from the last time we met, I think that has had a positive effect on me as an individual also.
Very good,
So,
very good, nice.
nothing like a park where you can really freshen yourself
Yes,
after a tough time.
correct, yes.
So yes, looks pleasing and confident.
Yeah, it's a nice evening after 3 days of intense rain and wind.
Yes.
And the sky has cleared up and it's pretty sunny and the sun is setting very beautifully now behind you.
Yes.
And we are actually here in Ramana Maharshi Park in Sadashivanagar, which is home to the northern tower of erstwhile Bangalore, at Visheshwara Tower, which mark the boundaries of the city. So, of course, it's not comparable to Lal Bagh as such in size, but in ambience and the flora and fauna here, it's very much comparable, I believe. Do you agree?
Yes, of course, because Vishweshwaraya Tower was done with a certain purpose by the great man. Where actually it was intended that the city should not grow beyond that particular limit. That was the main intention. But yes, with the cosmopolitan lifestyle which Bangalore has embraced and adopted, it has grown much beyond that. But yes, the glory of the tower still remains, and every new occasion where it is installed, as we see here in Ramana Maharshi Park today, it gives a different picture altogether. So the one in Lal Bagh had a very good presentation, I would say, leading to the tower atop a hill. Whereas here too, it's in a serene, beautiful surrounding. So all in all, it's quite a pleasing atmosphere to have a chat with you again.
Thank you. So in today's conversation, actually, I wanted to pick up on some feedbacks and questions that have been received for our video, Sasyakashi video. Some other respondents, some people have viewed that video. They have come back with some feedbacks and some questions, interesting questions also. So I thought today we'll dedicate this for going through those feedbacks and questions.
Absolutely, no problem.
So the first question on a light note is regarding MTR Coffee again. So last time when we discussed MTR Coffee in Lal Bagh,
right,
we were discussing that we like to go and sip that coffee after a gap of 3 months.
Yes.
So the question that has been asked is, did we succeed in that endeavor? Should we get a coffee to sip or not? So that's the question.
I would very much have liked to say yes. But unfortunately it so happened that we did reach MTR, but the coffee was not there for takeaway. So unfortunately we lost the opportunity there, because our main objective whenever we go to a beautiful place like Lal Bagh is to finish it off with an MTR coffee. Otherwise it always is something like unfinished journey for us.
That's true.
So, but this time unfortunately I think they were still in the process of organizing themselves. So yes, but many people were standing with the same intention as we went, but unfortunately we couldn't get that cup in our hand, and we had to actually satisfy ourselves in another place, but which are also equally good, but nothing like an MTR coffee again.
Great. So you're a regular consumer of coffee at home also?
Yes, in fact, right since my childhood I would say that I've been a lover of coffee.
Okay.
As I was born in a place like Pune and Mumbai where tea is very famous.
Right.
So yes, since our family had the practice of having coffee on regular intervals, I had an opportunity to get used to that as well.
So ancestrally you're from the Melkote area, which is Chennaraipatna, Mysore side, no?
Yes.
So I think that's ancestrally your
yes,
place of origin, I would
yes,
say.
my native is Bangalore actually, because my mother happens to come from Tumkur and my father is from Bangalore.
Right.
But I was born in Mumbai because my father was working in Pune.
Correct. So that is a coffee connection.
That was the coffee connection. And tea being one of the favorite drinks of Maharashtrians. So I had a liking for tea as well, or rather I would say I developed a liking for tea.
Oh, excellent.
So yes, both the beverages, I could balance them well, as I would say.
Yes, that is very nice. That's very nice. South predominantly being a land of coffee.
Yes.
Of course, of late tea is also catching up.
It is.
And there is a history behind the introduction of tea in India. Very interesting history. I wish to share with you that information someday
Absolutely.
in a chat like this, a conversation like this.
Yes, absolutely.
But of course, today that is not to be the case.
Not
So
to worry.
we'll-
Not to worry.
So again, of course, that was the that's one of the light opening questions from one of the people. I think he is also very big fan of MTR coffee.
Mhm.
So he was interested to know whether coffee was being served or not. So
Mhm.
the answer in summary is no. On that day we could not get it.
Yes, we couldn't get it.
And their notice board said coffee will not be served until further notice.
Yes.
That is what the notice board.
That was what we saw that day. And
But I think other snacks and foods are available for parcel, I think, or takeaway. I
they
think
were.
that was there. Excepting coffee not being served there, or even in parcel mode it was not being served.
Hmm.
Other than that, I think the other foods which is famous for, like Rava idli or puri, those I think
MTR,
were,
of course, has a
available.
wide range of varieties. So
Yeah.
I would say the parcel facilities would only benefit or help people to take it back to their houses or homes, or
Right.
take away in a car or something like that. Because even parks are not allowing anything inside.
Correct.
So I think that would have benefited them. The other type of delicious dishes which are
Right.
normally available there would have benefited them.
So going into the list of other questions, sir.
Hmm.
So one question, the first question, it is a pretty kind of I would say strong question, which I would like to read out as it is, so that we can get into the details of that as we converse.
No, absolutely, no problem.
So you say Aam Aadmi conversations. So the question being asked is, who is Sriram? Is he a humble politician or a Tendulkar or a Shahid Kapoor? Why should we watch him or know his opinion? So this is one question that has been asked. So how would you like to respond for that? Like Aam Aadmi, who is Sriram? And because I think people, the way I see this question is that people of God used to only now hearing somebody who is anybody who is a somebody, rather, either a politician or a sports star or a movie star. So of course our probably this question is coming because we gave the title Aam Aadmi Conversations.
Yes.
So and Aam Aadmi is probably asking, why should I know Aam Aadmi's opinion, or who is a Sriram? It's not about who is a Sriram.
Right.
Who is a Sriram is kind of trying to link it to a sports personality like Tendulkar or anybody who is listed there.
Right.
But the crux of the question is, Aam Aadmi, why should he spend time to watch another Aam Aadmi like you,
Right.
and know your opinion?
Right.
Because you are just anybody, you are
Right.
not somebody.
Right.
That is the question. I think that's what I interpret it as.
Right. Right.
So how do you interpret this question, and how would you like to respond to this question?
Yes. First of all, the gentleman, whoever has asked me this question, maybe it would be the same gentleman who would be asking me further questions as well. So, in a nutshell, I would start off by thanking him for his time, because I very well agree with him that I am a nobody to this world. Probably, I'm also trying to establish myself. If anybody asks for a person by name Sriram, there are thousands of Srirams who are there in this world.
Right.
But his question is truly justified, because why he should watch me when I'm nobody? He would rather benefit by watching a Shah Rukh Khan or a Amitabh Bachchan or Rajnikant or something like that. Yes, I definitely justify his question. But what I would like to say here is, an Aam Aadmi's perspective is from a common man's perspective.
Right.
So when you talk to a common man, obviously it will not be with an intention of trying to establish a name or fame for himself. Today, every common man or every citizen in this country is given an opportunity to express himself, or try to present himself, or try to share his opinion on various factors. So I consider myself as one of the honorable citizens of this country, where if given an opportunity, I would just like to express my opinion on the facts and figures to the best of my knowledge and abilities. And if it is positively taken, or if it is understood well by the masses, then my intention of coming into the fray and trying to express myself is by and large benefited. But this, I would never consider that I am trying to gain a name or a fame or anything like that. If it comes naturally to me, I am very happy. But this medium which I have been presented to express myself, I would value this medium as trying to express my heart out in any subject which I am presented with. Coming to the point of, say, watching a Shah Rukh Khan or an Amitabh Bachchan, I would definitely stress on this point that before they became Shah Rukh Khan or Amitabh Bachchan, they were also relatively unknown. Nobody knew them. If I would like to ask a question, that where did you first get the glimpse of Shah Rukh Khan? People who have followed him will definitely say that it was through a hit serial in television which used to come in the 80s.
Fauji.
My name Fauji, yes. Then later on it went on to Circus. And
He did amazingly well in Fauji actually.
He did.
It was a very big hit, you know. It was I would liken it as a success to even Ramayana and Mahabharata actually. It was so good. It was really good.
And yes, you made a very good point. Say if I link Ramayana and Mahabharata to, say, a Shah Rukh Khan's Fauji, today as you would have seen that these highly successful serials of the 80s are being retelecast so that people can take a look at that, take a look at those stars and see how they were done and try to learn about that.
Yes, actually there is a very interesting point regarding that retelecast as well. That's a debate for another day, but I just wanted to, since you brought it up, right? So I mean back and forth, so I just wanted to mention many people are of the opinion that the today's generation will not be able to relate to that serials. That is version 1, Mahabharata version 2 also came, Ramayana also came, Sri Krishna Leela came, Shirdi Sai. I mean now a lot of spiritual or dharmic serials are continuously being produced. But the quintessential argument against them is that today's generation is very busy and they don't have that attention span, or they will not have that mental bandwidth to really consume that kind of content. Anyway, that's a discussion for another day. I just wanted to roast that point here.
Absolutely.
So actually, coming to this, Aam Aadmi concept, right? I just had a follow-up question to get your, dig into your brain.
Right.
See now, nowadays what has happened is, that even the media, there's a lot of competition. See, I mean, we have come up through the days when even radio was only one channel and it was Prasar Bharati or whatever. No, only 4 hours a day it used to come. Early morning we will start with Vande Mataram and by 10 o'clock it will be over, 6 to 10, and evening again 4 to 8 or something it will be there. I've been through those days. My grandfather used to own a Bush radio.
That was
company,
very famous
British
those
company,
days.
Bush
Yes,
radio.
yes.
And
I have heard about it. Yes.
it used to be hung in a nail in the wall,
Right.
next to a power outlet, and in a leather casing. So that was the kind of nostalgic piece of equipment that was. And my grandfather was very prompt and punctual in tuning to the radio. AM and FM. FM was not much.
FM was not much.
AM was short wave, medium wave, and with the AM transmission we used to tune in.
Right.
And see, from those days to this day, when there is nearly, I believe, you have access to 250 channels today, even over cable. And if you consider the term channel in YouTube, it's billions. Nearly 1.5 billion channels are there in YouTube also.
Yes.
So the reason why I'm actually, it's a follow-on question to that question. What I'm asking is, see, when in mainstream cable, when there's 250, 300 channels, trust me, actually there is one more piece of information I just wanted to share now as a detour. This Mahabharat serial has a Guinness Book of World Record for 95% TRP.
That's
95%. And it has never been surpassed.
That's very good.
And today, because of the dispersion of channels, right, and the amount of content available, they say a TRP of 5 or 10% also is a big success. 5 or 10% is a major success. That's what they say. That is demand.
Yes.
So technology also come into the play.
Yes.
It has enhanced the production quality,
Yes.
the entertainment quotient in the content that is being produced, and people are also trying to work much harder. And there are so many aspects which have uplifted. But at the backdrop of all that, when we specifically consider, let's say, news, now we are talking about why should, the question says, why should I know about Aam Aadmi's opinion? It's not, of course, they have used your name, Sriram. But the question really is, as an Aam Aadmi, why should I care to know about an Aam Aadmi viewpoint? Why should I? What is there in it for me is the question. Because when one Aam Aadmi tries to understand another Aam Aadmi, right, we get into a many-to-many kind of a relationship. You will have your opinion, I will have my opinion, I exchange yours, you exchange mine, then we don't agree with each other, we may debate over it, and we may go. I mean, whereas traditional media, mainstream media, it is a one-way kind of a communication, and it, of course, there is a cost behind it. But what I am saying, see, today, the way media has evolved, especially news media, I mean, any kind of content that is an information, the observation is that it has got highly commoditized. So, because it has got commoditized, there is always a pressure from a commercial angle. You need to meet some targets. Once anything becomes a commodity, you need to actually chase targets, whether it is volume target or revenue target or TRPs or whatever.
Yes.
Right. So, from this perspective of a highly commoditized or commoditizing world, what is your opinion about Aam Aadmi's viewpoint and its sanctity? This is a follow-on question which I want to ask you.
Well, excellent question, actually. You know, what I would say is, probably the crux of any topic or any discussion or any product or whatever you call it as, basically how acceptable it is to the masses. This is my personal opinion. Would be more known if it is circulated amongst those sectors of people who haven't had an opportunity to even look at it or even hear about it. As I talk about Aam Aadmi is a common man, I would say. A common man's perspective varies broadly from say an established individual's perspective or a much more famous personality or a branded personality. But whatever you derive, like whatever your thought process on a particular service is, for example, you are trying to promote some channel, as you rightly said, or you are through that channel you are trying to promote some view. So where you will be, it also goes on the subject matter of that channel. For example, if you are trying to introduce this park here, it is not only the common man, but it is also steps above a common man who would be interested in knowing what this place is. So if I call a person who has already, say probably he is the founder of this park or something, he would still like to describe this park from a common man's perspective because it will be useful to those sectors of people. But if I would probably take someone higher than the founder, or for example someone who has come here and for the publicity's sake he has tried to make use of this beautiful establishment or surrounding here, he would not be able to really give you that description of this park which would actually reach the common man, and why a common man should really come here and try to spend time. So my definition of a common man, if you would ask.
Exactly. So sorry to interrupt you here.
Yes.
But that is the next question actually follow on.
Yes.
So which somebody has asked, like they want to know what is your picture of an Aam Aadmi? What is your definition of an Aam Aadmi? And the part of the question is he somebody who is a blue collar worker with an intellectual leaning? Okay, that is the kind of question that's being asked. And another attachment to the same question is pretty descriptive. I will try to summarize that. So this person says an Aam Aadmi, according to him, is somebody who is a village belly, who is sitting under an arlikatte, that Ashwatha tree, with another like-minded people, 4 or 5, with a towel on his shoulder, chewing something in his mouth and trying to discuss whatever is going through the hottest TV channel, whatever is that news, no, sensational news of the day. Sitting together and discuss. That is the picture of an Aam Aadmi which has been portrayed in the part of the question, where he says he is like not a very educated guy, intellectual leaning, all that is a city guy. This is a village average. Aam Aadmi means in India, he is an average village guy who is not very well educated, but who is very shrewd. Education is one part, but who is generally very shrewd. He is opportunistic and very shrewd, with a towel on his shoulder, with oiled hairs and chewing something in his mouth and sitting with 3-4 people always, never alone, under some tree and discussing something, scheming, which from afar, no, it looks like he is scheming something. So that is another picture of Aam Aadmi. So 2 pictures of Aam Aadmi are being given in this question, or feedback, I would say, and they are asking like where do you stand and what kind of Aam Aadmi are you, or what is your picture of an Aam Aadmi. So it's a kind of a mixed question, it's a noodles. How do you like to take this question?
Yes, the perspective behind this question I would analyze in this way, that the gentleman who has been kind enough to present this question, yes, it's quite a good question, I would say, because as I would like to put it, his understanding of Aam Aadmi is correct in one way, but it is only half an understanding, which I would say, because he is analyzing a common man from only a village's perspective. Yes, village is all right. I would say yes, what he has described about people and all those things, that might be pertaining to a village atmosphere, which is absolutely right.
It is pertaining to village atmosphere. Yes. One part.
Yes, one part.
Probably he has drawn inspiration, because I know this person a little personally.
Right.
He basically, I think, Neevu Heliddu Now Keliddu, there is a program, right? In the TV9,
is it?
Kannada channel, no? They keep putting that.
Okay.
Where they keep on showing these village setups, exactly what like he has described. I have also seen it. And in the background, 2 people are creating a voiceover in a comical fashion and trying to convert that into a joke. So I think from there he has drawn the picture of what he has described here. That is an oily haired Hegelmel towel,
right,
whatever,
right,
in
right.
Kannada they say
Hegelmel.
so those kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I can continue, sorry.
Yes, of course, there was another similar program which I have had an opportunity to watch, which was called as Halli Katte.
Right.
This Halli Katte is nothing but it is a picturization of Gram Panchayat atmosphere, where people come and spend their evenings.
But Halli Katte was more of a satire, political satire, isn't it?
It was given a political twist only to match with the current situation or whatever it was, or situation which prevailed at those particular moments.
Correct.
But generally, it is not like that. Actually, a Gram Panchayat, of course, if the gentleman has visited villages and he has formed an opinion based on that.
He is from poor heartland village, sir.
Excellent. Then I wouldn't like to probably try.
He is in the city, so that's the reason why this question takes some complexity.
Oh, that's excellent.
It's sounding a bit deep and complex.
That's excellent. No, I am happy, because I would like to really.
I mean, see, what I believe is this question is subjective. Each person can have his own idea of what a common Aam Aadmi is.
He can.
But then now, given that this is an Aam Aadmi conversation and you are at the helm of things, you are the header of this program. That is the reason why probably he is interested in knowing what is your picture of an Aam Aadmi.
My picture of an Aam Aadmi,
or how you would like to visualize yourself.
Yes,
in other words,
my picture of an Aam Aadmi is a common citizen of India who normally doesn't get that much of an attention as a politician or a great celebrity gets. If I would say, if I was an Amitabh Bachchan, or if I was a Shah Rukh Khan, or if I was a Rajnikant or something, then I wouldn't be even willing to sit before you here for such a long time. I would be having a lot of other works to do, and I would be having n numbers of security people out here and everything. Then in that context, you would be watching me, or you would be, very, very thrilled or excited to hear me, because I am an Amitabh Bachchan and I am a Shah Rukh Khan. You would never get that opportunity to listen to an average Indian, I would say, because his opinion about facts as they are today is totally different from what any other established personality might put it across. Because an established personality does have many things at stake. He might, because everything what he speaks, it can be contradicted. Like if, for example, if I was a great personality, I am speaking here before you, I had to think 10 times even before answering your question, because it might lead to many other situations. But as a common man, I have that freedom to express myself as a normal citizen, as an average citizen of India. I can always say what I like, what I don't like. I can always criticize what I like, what I don't like. But at the same time, being an educated individual and coming from an educated and good family,
That's the freedom of speech aspect, isn't it?
Yes.
Constitutionally speaking.
yes,
But I think, see, this question is more, I think, inclined towards, even as a common man, when you share it, right? Now, I understood your, you reasonably, you described well what is your idea of a common man. And when this question has, like, although it seems to have two layers. What is your idea of a common man, and how would you see yourself as a common man? Actually, when you, after your description of a common man, it has to be assumed that now that is your picture of yourself as well as a common man.
that is, yes, that is
Right?
the true picture, I would say. That is not only my picture, that is the true picture. Because today, erstwhile, I would say about 20 years back or 25 years back, an average citizen of this country would definitely not have had an opportunity to express himself as much as today there are opportunities, thanks to the upsurge in the media and lot of other things, and many other people trying to know a common man's perspective have come forward to request his opinion. So erstwhile there was no opportunity, but today, yes, because there are many different classes of people. I would say, like, for many purposes, people would say you are from the lower middle class or the higher middle class.
That's
or
an
the
economic
upper class.
stratification.
Economic stratification.
Okay.
But here again, I would say that people in the middle class and lower middle class also do have an opportunity to express themselves, because they are the real common men, I would say, because they are at the grassroots level and they know what are the difficulties in life is. Because even people at a higher level, they do face difficulties, but there are various factors which are there to support them, so that the effects because of these challenges are minimized in their case. But in a common man's case, he has to wait for things to be solved. Even if he goes and tries to solve them, it is not that it just happens tomorrow. So that is where I put myself, because I too have seen troubles in my life where it has taken n number of days, n number of months and years to solve those problems. So as a common man, I would like to present myself as an example to people who would like to hear me as a common man. What are the troubles he or she faces while leading life, for example? Like, it is not just that it is not a walk in the park, as I would say. It has its own hurdles. So that is where I would like to describe common man from my perspective in one word, which is reality.
That's very interesting point of view, sir.
Yes.
And I hope that satisfies the person who has asked the question. Of course, that feedback also we'll get it. And of course, I'll share it with you.
No, absolutely. Because, these sort of questions, it helps us understand more about how people are viewing you. Because I don't know the person who is asking me this question.
Yes.
He is just a person who is known to you by your description. But he could be an Amitabh Bachchan himself. I don't know that.
You mean some famous personality?
It could be. Or Amitabh or whoever, for example. I'm not stressing only on Amitabh, but it could be anybody.
Right.
I don't know that. So, but if he has his own objectives of posing this question, only he knows. And my interest in responding to him is only to see that I try to get closer to what he is expecting out of me.
Yeah, actually, that's very true, sir. Because the question itself was very, it's a multi-layered question.
Yes.
It is loaded with words and terminologies and perspectives as well. So many things are got mixed in that question. So it was not, it required some thinking to really present that question to you and elicit an answer as well.
Yes.
But I think let's see whether he is satisfied with the answer or not. Of course, we'll get it. So there are actually some more questions.
Yes.
But just to keep in mind our limit of 30-minute limit.
Right.
So I think we might have to roll this forward and take it in another session.
Absolutely, no problem.
So that is really interesting. So 2 questions only we could attack, or probably 3 questions we could attack today. There are some more, and maybe this will keep continuing, and we might have to find a way. I mean, how to take questions. I mean, because majority of the questions that have come here are based on Sasyakashi video.
No, absolutely.
So going forward, what will happen? It will be a rolling process, continuous process. So I think we might have to have a Q&A kind of session where we pick up some random questions and answer them. When we talk about other topics.
No, in fact,
I believe you have got other topics lined up also, right?
No, in fact, I would like to thank the person profusely from the bottom of my heart, because being a common man, I wouldn't have even envisaged that people would try to see what I have presented, or try to gather whatever best possible from what I intend to convey. In this way, I would like to thank the gentleman for his time and for putting across these questions. And I'm sure that this will definitely be a learning curve for us also. And given an opportunity, I would also like to take more and more such questions from him, so that every phase is a learning phase, and I can improve myself and try to see what the world expects, and I can try to get closer to what the world expects. So I am indeed very grateful to the gentleman for getting these sort of questions to me, and I'm happy about it.
Excellent, sir. So I just like thanks for your time today again.
Welcome. Yes.
And let's hope to meet soon and take up the remaining questions.
Absolutely.
In some format or other.
Looking forward to that. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much.